Pancakes Day or whatever it is. So, does anybody here have teenage kids?
Woo!
Yeah, are they pricks?
Yes.
Because my two are. I've got two boys, 15 and 12, and you will never meet a bigger pair of fucking sarcastic, smart-ass bellends than my two kids. The problem is, I can't complain about it because I made them that way. It was entirely my fault. I trained them, I designed them to be like that. And when it's us three taking the piss out of somebody else, that's fine. But what seems to be happening more and more recently is that they've joined forces and they've turned on me. There's barely a day now where I don't get mugged off or bullied by my own children. Give you an example. We went in the chippy the other day to get some food, not for a day out, that would be weird. Went in the chippy to get some food, and when the food was ready, the woman handed me the bag and she goes, "Enjoy your meal." And then, out loud, I said, "And you." Immediately in my head I went, "Fuck, what'd you do that for, Zach?" Got outside, my youngest said, "Dad, did you just tell the woman in the chip shop to enjoy the meal she's definitely not about to have?" And I said, "Yeah." Then in his little sarcastic voice, he goes, "A bit weird that, I wouldn't have done that." I went, "Yeah, cheers." The eldest one took a slightly different approach. He just looked at me sideways and went, "Knobhead." Now, if I'd have called my dad a knobhead when I was 15, I wouldn't be here telling you this story. But times have changed, the world has changed. I grew up in the 80s, and the way that my parents parented me is very different to how I parent my kids. You can't hit them anymore. Well, not so it leaves a mark. But they're completely different, and they are more savvy than we were as kids. So to give you an example, when I was about 7 or 8, my dad told me that if you eat mincemeat, and when I say mincemeat, I mean sweet mincemeat that you put in mince pies, he said if you eat that raw from the jar, it's poisonous and it can kill you. Now, some of you have just worked out why he told me that. For those who haven't, just think about that. That's something to think about on the way home. But it worked, all right, because I believed him. I was 7 or 8. He was my dad. Of course he was right. If he says mincemeat's poisonous, it's poisonous as far as I'm concerned. Which is fine. When you're 7 or 8, believing that mincemeat is poisonous if it's raw is one thing. The problem is, I believed that for what can only be described as an embarrassingly long time. See, when I was about 23, 24, I was in my kitchen with my then girlfriend, and we were making mince pies, and she took the spoon that had been in the raw poisonous mincemeat, and she put it in her mouth. I said, "Whoa, what are you fucking doing?" And she said, "What?" I said, "You can't do that, that's poisonous, mincemeat is poisonous, you can't do that." And she said, "Zach, what the fuck are you talking about now?" And I said, "You've just put the mincemeat in your mouth. Everybody knows that raw mincemeat straight from the jar is poisonous." She goes, "I don't think they fucking do." So I said, "Right, I'm going to prove this to you. I'm going to go onto the internet and prove it." Now, this was probably the early 2000s, so the internet was quite different to what it is today. You didn't just have your iPhone or your Android if you're a loser to look at it. You had to go and find a big computer, and it took probably 15-20 minutes to get onto the internet by the time you warmed it up and dialed in, only to find out that mincemeat eaten raw from the jar isn't poisonous. Your dad's a fucking liar, and you've just made yourself look like a bellend in front of your future ex-wife. Now, compare and contrast that with a conversation I then had, maybe 10 or 15 years later, with my youngest son, when he was refusing to eat his dinner, or the carrots that came with his dinner. I tried everything to get him to try and eat these carrots, but he just wouldn't have it. "Come on, I've seen you eat carrots. You like carrots." "No, I'm not eating carrots." "I saw you eat carrots yesterday, Caleb." "No, they were different carrots." "No, they weren't. They were the same fucking carrots from the same bag." But no, he's just not having it. So I thought, I know, my dad taught me that trick. I can just lie to him, just make up some bullshit, he'll believe me, and then we'll get on with it. So I said, "Caleb," because that's his name, I said, do you like chocolate?" And he said, "Yeah, I like chocolate." I said, "Well, did you know that chocolate is made from carrots?" And he goes, "Is it?" I said, "Yeah." Now, in my head, I thought that was job done. I thought, okay, he'll believe me He'll eat the carrots. All I have to do is check in a couple of years to make sure he's figured out that's not true, so he don't make himself look a cunt when he's 25. But that's not what happened. What actually happened was this. Alexa, it's chocolate made of carrots. Now, I was so fucking angry that I can't remember exactly what Alexa said, so I am paraphrasing, but it went something like this. No, of course it fucking isn't. Your old man's full of shit. Thank you very much. I was Zach Lacey.